Joe, when you think about how you go to the marketplace, we were talking about this a little bit earlier. E-commerce is huge for you. You distribute through Amazon, if I'm not mistaken. What is that like, working within that structure, and how does e-commerce shape Desert Cactus?
Yeah, so I always like to say we were in e-commerce before it was cool, so pre-COVID, because you got to figure like COVID happened, and then really what it did, especially in the licensed product space, it really taught every licensing director you need to have a well-diversified portfolio of retailers. Everything can't be Dick's Sporting Goods. Everything can't be the bookstore. So we were on Amazon since 2010, so we were there way in the beginning. It was way, way long, and it's kind of cool because like now, when you sell on Amazon, you need to have an authorization letter. We were the ones that were testing that with engineers, actually. Cool. So we were the one that was like testing it to be like, okay, let's see if we do this. Like we weren't the ones like pulling the switch, but we were working with two guys at Amazon to figure that whole process out. Amazon's hard. I love seeing the videos online like, Amazon is easy. Take this course and learn about this. It's like there's no way. If anything's that easy, it's not true.
My father always said that if it's too good to be true, it probably is.
Oh yeah, totally. So it's definitely complicated, but I think we definitely have figured it out. And what we're different than everybody else in the industry. You have all these vendors who sell directly to Amazon. We don't do that at all. And it's pretty simple because at the end of the day, Amazon's a retailer just like Walmart. Walmart might carry 2 University of Iowa flags at their location. I was about to say Ames, but that's not correct.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
They're only going to carry 2. So with us, our concept is we go to market with 12.
Sure.
Or it could be 14. And we use the data from people. Because like any wholesale people, like we don't have anyone from the Indiana Fever and the WNBA telling us feedback on products.
Sure.
But every single day we get feedback from customers. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. In some cases, thousands of feedback every single day.
Yeah.
But Amazon's a pain. Yeah, it's a pain, and it's trial and error. You can't take anything personal. We're fortunate enough that Amazon likes us a lot, so like they've come to our office multiple times. We've done promotional videos for them, so like there's different things because they want to hear about our experience. Because I feel like too many people, and this is like just in life, they're like, "Oh, I hate whatever." It's like, yeah, but you shouldn't have been doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People don't read Amazon's terms of service. People don't read the branding guides to know you can't execute it
that
this
box
way.
for the Apple terms of service.
Yeah.
No one reads through that.
No one reads that. So like you have to know like a logo can be applied a certain way in some cases and not in other ways. Or maybe the Pantone color is different when it's applied, when it's screen printed versus digitally printed. And I think a lot of people just don't pay attention. They just expect people to spoon feed everything to
Well,
them.
exactly. And that's why I'll tell you one of the first things that we do, right, when we either get a new campus or working with a new brand, right, the first people that we call are those licensing, marketing, communications people, along with procurement, right? Those hardest phone calls that people want to avoid and try to get away with stuff. Our goal is to, hey, let's be a partner. Let's be in this thing together to do just that, right? Protect the brand, police the brand, and make sure that we're doing it correctly. So I'd imagine the same thing for you, where it's like there are plenty of vendors that probably take shortcuts and don't want to get those approvals, but you have to, and in the long run, it pays off.
It's you want to learn. I rather learn what not to do than what to do, because then you know what the rules are. It's just like play basketball. You're like, hey, I know what the rules are.
Yep.
I can't do this. I can't do this. It's same thing in our industry or any industry. You want to know what you can and can't do. I'd rather learn that. We do the same exact thing. Kickoff meeting with those people that make those decisions. Do you need samples? How many samples do you need? Kind of go through the checklist.
Yeah. So when you go through that checklist and you're starting to create merchandise for a brand, how do you determine what's going to be successful?
Again,
Does
it's
it go back to that gut conversation?
It's gut. It's lessons you learned. If something would sell really well for Iowa, would it sell really well for Michigan, the concept? Yeah, maybe. Because how many times do you see, like watching NFL games this past season, I noticed that the hat would have the logo for the team, and then on the side, it would either have a league mark or something like that, but it's every single team. So they've shown it's a proof of concept, really, So I think for us, we'd rather walk before we run. So we'll try something maybe with a small amount of schools and then kind of expand it out from there then.
Sure. Got to have those early adopters for certain things.
Yeah.
Absolutely. In the college industry, relationships are everything. We met out at the Winter Symposium for ICLA, and you now sit on the board for ICLA. What has ICLA meant for you in terms of not only professional development, but the ability to cultivate relationships.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy. I mean, it's easy. I feel like it's very different than having a phone call with somebody, exchanging emails with somebody, and you said it earlier that it's that face-to-face interaction. I think people I don't want to say put their guard down, but I think it's definitely a different, relaxed environment, and I think that definitely has helped out a lot with the brands. And then you learn to and I'll say this to a lot of brands we work with too, a lot of schools is like, hey, I like you as a person, even if we're not licensed. Like I like Richard at Utah, awesome person, you know, So I think that's part of it to get to learn. Like it's people that you interact with that you might not have ever.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean we see it time and time again. It's that connection that you form with the licensing directors in particular. It means everything. It's something that opens up opportunity on the campus. They might take a job at another institution. You mentioned Colorado earlier. I remember when Maureen was out of Penn State and then she went to Colorado. Shout out to Maureen. It's always interesting to see, how opportunities and that network of relationships develops over time.
Well, you got to figure too, a lot of these schools, they deal with 200, 300, 400 other companies like ours.
Yeah.
And I think the relationship, I don't want to say gives you a leg up, but they get to learn about your business more because there could be things that they didn't realize.
Yeah.
Like the box example. You're like, hey, we did this whole thing. Oh, I didn't realize you did that. Oh, we did it for all these schools too. Oh my God, that's really cool. They see something
By the
online.
way, Adam.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because it happens all the time, right? And they're the ones approving it. So sometimes they're like, wait, I didn't know you do spatial branding. It's like, well, you may not have understood it, but you approved it in the portal, which is funny that we did it.
Yeah. And how many times have we gotten rejections or questions on submissions? Sure. What is this? It's like I submitted it as a flag. It's a flag.
It's a flag. No, and I think it's one of those things over time. I'm sure your business has brought on new product lines and brought on new things that didn't exist 5 years ago. For us, it's every year there's a new innovation, something new we're able to bring to the marketplace, and just having to always re-engage those relationships to re-educate. Like this is what we can do here in 2025. I'm sure you experience that same thing.
All the time. Our thing is there's so many times. There's some products we make ourselves. There's some products we make overseas. There's some stuff we will do partial overseas. We'll do some stuff in our office. And we're always trying to control it ourselves. And I think that's because we hold ourselves to a higher standard. We want to make sure the colors are right. Mm-hmm. We want to make sure it's perfect because we don't know. It could be that licensing director. It could be the president of the university. That could to have it.
You never know
this is off.
Who it's going to.
Yeah, so we definitely like controlling certain things because we can be anal. We always joke in our office we have trust issues with people. Really is what it comes down to, really, because we know, and I think for me as a leader, like I like to be very hands-on. I have no problem packing orders. I have no problem labeling product. I have no problem, and everyone on our staff will say that too. But it's good too because it kind of grounds you. Not to keep you humble, but because sometimes I think I set unrealistic expectations for myself. But this way I know, like, if we're doing retail packaging for an order for the Indiana Fever, it's impossible to do 200 an hour, And so I think it kind of gives you a good idea, but it also, I don't say catches people, but like, hey, what do you mean you only did 100 of these? I know you can do 150 or whatever it is.
Sure.
So it's better for projecting out how long things take to make or whatever. So
yeah, no, I think that quality control aspect is something that we share downstairs in brand operations. We like to be hands-on. We do the majority of our apparel down there, so it is something that having that hands-on approach to things. Absolutely. It just gives you a peace of mind. It makes sure that quality is first and foremost what's going out the door.
Yeah, we've also, over the years, we found ourselves down there packing up orders, packing up kitting, fulfillment, all the good stuff. So
exactly. Everybody at this table has packed boxes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, and it's cool, too, because I think it's those times I like the mind-numbing tasks.
Yeah.
Because you're not, everything else that we all have going on in our lives is just crazy, but it's good. And then you think of different things like, why do we do it this way? Or why do we do it this way? And make it that much easier. And because of the amount that we're selling, if we can trim off 2 cents or 3 cents, if you're selling 600,000 widgets a year, that's a lot of money.
That adds up.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Speaking of the WNBA, when I was out at Winter Symposium, I had the pleasure of listening to you interview Phil Cook. What was that experience like? Interviewing the chief merchandising or not
chief marketing officer. Yeah, it was very interesting because we did a couple Zooms prior to it, and this guy is smart. Like he knows his stuff.
That was articulated.
Yeah, he definitely does. And so like I had to go, like once I had a good idea. Well, take a step back. I had to go through, and you have people like us in the audience.
Yep.
And then you have the actual, like maybe it's licensing agencies, you have the actual brands like the schools and stuff. So you want to make sure any questions are pretty universal. But I think for the pros, like, and especially in Phil's case, minus his interaction with the licensing staff, he doesn't do anything with licensing. You know, he's not approving it. He's not doing that stuff. So it was hard because you have that fine line of delivering good content and like giving him questions that he actually can answer because it's part of his job. Yeah. But like, I think he said when he started there, because he was at the NBA at Nike for a super long time, and he only had like a couple people on his staff, and now I think he said he's like 30 or 35 people now full time with more people he needs to get. I'm like, dude, what is that like? Yeah. Because when he said like when he initially got hired by the commissioner, they're like, hey, we're going to put a lot of money into it. Like, how do you go to her and say, hey, by the way, I'm at 3 people or 4 people. I need to hire 30 or 40 more people. That's crazy. Yeah. But it was very interesting. I had to be honest with you, I had to put some questions through ChatGPT to make sure it made me sound smarter than what I was.
Yeah. Make me sound smarter.
Yeah. But it was definitely nervous because our programming went over, like the one before my went over, so we were a little late. And I remember like 5
Everything's
minutes.
on an agenda at ICLA.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, we're already late. And he's like, oh, yeah, by the way, my flight leaves at whatever time. Yeah. I was like, crap. Like, I'm like,
we gotta go.
Okay, yeah, I'm actually the one who booked your ticket for you. So, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, so I had to like make sure, because I mean, tons of people had questions, but.
Well, it didn't come across that there was an urgency to get through it.
Oh, yeah, so I had that.
Did a great job.
I had like a clock on the ground, and I was like watching that clock, and then I remember like timing the questions too, because you're not sure how long someone's going to answer a question.
That's true.
So we had to go through and have different sections, and okay, this section has 6 questions, and some we got through 2 of them. Yeah. But the guy is so smart. Like
Yeah, and I mean, you look at the growth that they're having on the marketing side. It's a very timely interview.
Yeah, very. I mean, it could have been hours and hours. So.
I mean, it seems like a pretty proud moment. You talked about the moment with the DJ before, seeing your flag in the background. Talk about what is the most proud moment that you've had, I guess, over the years at Desert Cactus and kind of growing the company.
So I think for us, is when brands reach out to us.
Yeah.
And so we're going through this huge, crazy growth stage with, we'll call it soccer, but it's really football overseas. But having more and more clubs coming to us and saying, hey, we want to do stuff with you guys. So for us, I think it's validation not from customers, but it's from, which that's great, but it's from other brands coming to us and saying, hey, we want to do stuff with you.
That's awesome.
Especially those big clubs, you know, Liverpool, Arsenal. Like there's a lot of really
big
good
Liverpool guy
brands.
Over here.
Are you really?
Oh, yeah.
Chelsea?
We have Chelsea too, yeah. So for us now, it's like trying to convince there's a couple of huge brands that we're trying to get into, but then also too, it's, you know, like I'm a White Sox fan, so it's like you need to have the best teams and the worst teams. You know? So
my wife's a Sox fan, and I'm a Cubs fan, so we're a house divided in that conversation. You know, for yourself, you think back to the journey, and for you, Monmouth College, you had the ability to go back to campus recently and share some of your journey with those students. What was that experience like? Was it a full circle moment for you?
School's very different now, I think.
Yeah.
I think the whole experience is different. I have a cousin who's in the liquor distribution business, and I didn't realize, like, people that are in college now do not drink. Like it's
that's all I did in college.
Yeah, right. I know it's super very low. And what I thought was interesting, going back to ICLA when people were making presentations, somebody said like it was like 56 or something % of young kids want to become influencers.
Yeah,
as a full-time job.
Yes,
and it's like, okay, but if everybody's influenced, like who's going to have the regular jobs out there? Who's going to be doing
a little bit of market saturation too?
Yeah. So it's interesting because you have obviously like you know, and I was in that position too in school. You have people come in and talk. You have the people that are really interested, the people that are not. And it's interesting because I had some people reach out to me after, like, hey, can you help me find a job? I'm like, you were the kid who was not interested on their phone. So, no, I'm not helping you.
I want to help influence you guys.
Yeah. but it's interesting because I think we're always, you know, go, go, go. So it's good when I'm putting stuff together to be like, oh, that's interesting. I forgot that we did this or we used to do this before.
Yeah. No, I think the college landscape has certainly evolved and changed even from when we were in school. Because, you said 2004?
Yeah, graduated in 2004, yeah.
And 2010, 2011.
It's been a long time now.
I know, it adds up fast. But it's always cool to, I think, have the ability to go back to your school, wherever that may be, and be able to connect and re-engage with that campus. I'm sure it opened up some relationships from the students that were looking for jobs to relationships within the school business or whoever you connected with at the campus level.
Yeah, I mean, schools are definitely challenged nowadays because not everybody might want to go to school. Trades are becoming really big. So I think a lot of schools are definitely challenged. And I think we were talking about this at our office today. A lot of kids now, because I remember graduating high school, like, they would show you like, oh, this is where everyone's going to school. A lot of Iowas, Indiana University, a lot of just Midwest stuff. And there occasionally kids would be outside that area. Now it's Florida, Texas, Alabama, Arizona.
Got smart.
Yeah, they went to all these other warm weather states. So
exactly.
Yeah, so
warm weather and good sports.
Yeah.
So I feel like some of the schools up here, they're definitely challenged.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of because they're competing against, you know, places where the weather is really nice. It's totally different than what it is here in the Midwest. So,
yeah, and I know golf has been a sport that's really taken off too in the last 5 years. You know, in wake of the pandemic, and a lot of kids got into that. And you go down south, you can golf almost year round.
Yep. Joe, you went back to high school there for a second, right? What was it that you wanted to do before the whole flag thing happened at this fraternity?
I don't think I really knew for the most part. I think it was like one of the people was like, hey, it will kind of figure itself out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And boy, did it.
Yeah, it definitely did.
Yeah.
I think everyone at this table probably was in that boat.
Yeah, for sure.
Figure it out.
Yeah, did not think I would be sitting here.
And I think the problem right now is people don't realize all these different jobs that are out there and how many like young men are like, hey, I want to get into sports, but they don't realize that, there's people playing, but there's all this other stuff.
Oh,
I mean, look at collegiate. I mean, how many different departments there are, academic advising within athletics. I mean, there's nutritionists now for some of these schools. Like, it is absolutely crazy how many people work at some of the universities in very specified roles. But I mean, you can be an accountant.
Yeah. Even the whole like development, donor relations side. I mean, you can, that world has always fascinated me. And it's one that, bleeds into athletics. It's in alumni relations. It's with the foundation. There's always a need for folks in that role. So it's always interesting to see how that builds across the campus community. For us, it's always the relationship, though, that everything ends up boiling back to. And it sounds like that's the same case for you, Joe, when you look at Desert Cactus, how you've been able to find growth, been able to drive the business forward. So I really enjoyed the conversation today with you, Joe. I think our listeners will enjoy learning a little bit more about a Desert Cactus brand that maybe they don't know a whole lot about. And as always a pleasure to have you in the club.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for having me.
This was good stuff, Joe. Appreciate you.